Hello and welcome to another episode of the Afterschool Anime Club Season 2. We're back. That's right. Hashtag January 2023. You know what the heck it is. I'm Max Newland. I'm your host.
Is that the whole hashtag?
Yeah.
Oh, one big one.
It's a long one.
Yeah. The whole thing, all of it.
Hey, Elon's letting tweets get longer. It's fine.
Yeah.
This is the world's first full podcast hashtag. And joining me today, she's a hunter of peace searching for the elusive mayfly of love. It's Stevie Matos.
Oh, what's a mayfly? Hello.
It's a gross bug that lives for one day.
Oh.
And it represents love.
No, it doesn't.
And he won't let any children get hurt anymore. It's Max Kostrak.
What a great mantra to live by.
I'm gonna make it my phone background. I'm gonna make that frame my phone background. Bet.
It's our, watchword. It's our word of the week. And you've already heard his voice today. It's Jay, the creator of Additional Postage Required, an audio drama podcast set to release later in January. One of the main forces behind Moonshot's Patreon and YouTube content. And a feature of Interstitial Season 3. Hello, Jay.
Hello. Thank you for having me on this bus that is driving through the desert. I am really excited to have a normal trip and not lose a little girl and then wind up in a giant underground cyber facility full of walking spider robots. I am very happy to be here. Hello.
Jay, I am so sorry. I'm really, really sorry, but I'm looking out the window right now and I do see a dead body that we have to go investigate.
Oh, no!
Sorry. So sorry.
I got on the wrong
Hate to see that.
Uh-oh.
Hate it when you get in situations like that because they're so
An
common.
unavoidable chain of dominoes.
Darn.
This keeps happening to me.
Don't forget your ration Kit Kats, though.
You know I won't. I never
That'll
leave
save
home
us.
without them.
Oh, let me get a meal block to go.
Oh.
Truly.
This show continues. We watched Trigun. No surprise. Show continues to be tremendous fun.
Good.
Obviously,
So good.
if you can't tell from how we sound going into this.
Marvelous show. Marvelous program.
Marvelous program. Jay is someone who's seen most of it, and so he's keeping everything locked up nice and tight from me and Kostrak.
Yep, I have seen all of it a couple times.
We appreciate it. We know there are big secrets.
Yeah.
Such
Oh,
big secrets.
are there big secrets in one of the most beloved anime of a decade of time? Are there things in it that are good?
It's like really hard to actually stay fresh.
Yeah.
To be honest with
Yeah.
you, it's like I don't imagine it's like Aerith dies in Final Fantasy VII levels hard to stay unspoiled,
Yeah.
but it's pretty hard.
I think it's complex is the answer. I don't think
Yes.
there's a one sentence super spoiler.
That is
Unless I'm
Yeah.
wrong about that, that's how little I know.
This is cool to hear from y'all because, I had watched this. I came back to it, after seeing it as a kid. And then before we started this podcast, there was a time where I had actually seen it. But it's been a more than 2, probably less than 6 years. I think it's like 4 years since I've seen it again as an adult. And
Wow.
I feel like y'all are talking about like the big secret. I feel like Trigun's big secret isn't like, it's not that, no, I don't think that Trigun doesn't have a big secret. I think it does. I actually don't think a lot of people watched it. Like, it's not like it's not popular, but a lot
Really?
of the groups
It's
that
not
I was
that
in,
widespread.
it's actually not that widespread. It's a great. So when people have seen it, they're like, oh man, Trigun. But more often than not, I'm like, yo, you've seen this one. And I was like, Trigun. And people are like, oh no, not Trigun. I was like, really?
Huh.
And like, it's impressive to me because it's one of those things that just for me, like when it comes to consuming anime, like if I went back and like in order watched everything that I've ever really loved chronologically, like Trigun's like second. Like Cowboy Bebop led me directly into
wow.
Trigun. So it's like
Oh,
wild
damn.
to me that like a lot of people are
That's
like,
awesome.
oh, I've
dude.
never heard of Trigun. When was that? And I was like, bro, what? How you gonna sing the real
Yeah,
folk blues to me and not know Trigun? What do you mean?
I think it doesn't have like it's not that it doesn't have staying power, but like when you think about obviously there's a ton more than this, but when you think about like some of the most pervasive big 90s anime, it's kind of Cowboy Bebop, Evangelion, Trigun, I feel like.
For sure.
And
Yeah.
Trigun,
For sure.
Trigun definitely is always third of those, right? And I feel like
Yeah.
it's kind of because of like it is not a hard anime to get into, but it is a hard pitch if you want to really quickly encapsulate what is so good about it, I think. And
Yeah.
that kind of leads into the
yeah.
like there not being an Aerith moment, to use Max's example, because like to bounce off of that, like, it is very much a show where the twist, quote unquote, is just kind of what the actual state of things at large is, what the state of the world is, what Vash's real deal is. It's kind of just all encompassing rather than being based around a single moment. Even Evangelion, a lot of it can be boiled down to like, oh, it's when Eva 1 goes berserk. Oh, it's when you find out about Rey or whatever.
Yeah.
I'll be curious to hear from y'all when you finish it, but I don't think there are like, I don't think there's a moment like that in Trigun, and maybe that's why it hasn't kept quite as loudly in the public consciousness in the decades since.
I know we got to get into this actual podcast and like talk about it and talk shit on it and love it for what it is, but you saying that, Jay, really makes me think about, are we familiar with Carol and Tuesday?
Haven't seen it in a very long time.
I've heard of it.
Okay, so essentially Carol and Tuesday, it's a Netflix anime. It's really, really cute. Also Watanabe, actually. It's really, really cute. It's about these two girls.
Shut up,
Yeah,
really?
it's great.
Wow.
And it's about these two girls. It's not science fiction, but it's like it's set on Mars. They've terraformed it. And these two girls meet each other and they both want to be musicians. And so essentially it's about their journey, essentially going on to like Mars Idol. And in this really futuristic world where essentially music's been replaced by AI and these two are singer-songwriters. So it's like, but a lot of what happens in those episodes, like there isn't really any huge reveal through the whole series. The slice of life, you know?
And just to put a cap on that, I'm really excited to see both Vash and Wolfwood become idols.
Absolutely, for sure.
Yeah, absolutely. Which one will wear the dress better? Who can say?
Right, exactly.
I gotta say, I love that you all have immediately elevated the level of discourse on this program, because I think it's time to get like serious. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
yeah, let's do it.
Wait. Like pay taxes serious or Darkwing Duck serious?
No. I
He
just
says
think
dangerous,
that
not serious.
Like you're locked in a room and your leg is chained up and Jigsaw is talking.
nothing
Kind of serious.
nothing so dour as all that. It's just the anime club, you know. We haven't really interacted with any of the other extracurriculars at whatever this big school is that we're all going to.
Anime High.
Yeah, Anime High, okay. And I think that, you know, now that we have a fourth member of the episode team, the team this episode,
That's me.
I think it's time we started. That's Jay. That's you. That's
Jay.
right. I think it's time we started really looking at our options here. And I signed us up for a special intramural event.
Is it dodgeball?
I'm bad at sports.
It's no, it's with the forensics team.
Oh, I'm great at crime. No, I'm not.
It's not that. No, it's not that kind of. It's not that kind of forensics,
Are
Jay.
we doing mock trial?
Oh no, please.
I've presented a game for you today called Death Battle Debate Club.
Slept with the forensics guys. I didn't actually do forensics. Oh, I'm gonna be so mad at this.
Death Battle Debate Club.
Death Battle Debate Club.
Four good words.
I've been back on the Versus Battle wiki.
Oh,
God
no.
forgive me.
What? Wait, like the Instagram versus?
No. The Versus Battle wiki. It's a.
We use this in another game where we guessed a character
Yes.
based on their
I remember
abilities
this.
described by this website.
I remember this, but I was
Okay.
sitting here like,
No.
why are we bringing 90s R&B stars into this? I was very confused. I'm here. I'm so sorry.
90s R&B stars do not show up later on in Trigun.
Yeah, I was like, we don't need Jada Kiss and 112 here. This isn't for them. This isn't about them.
It may not surprise you to learn that the Versus Battle wiki has a very active forum that is used by many people, and they have lively discussions on there about who would win in this matchup, who would win in that matchup. So what I've done is I have curated a list of matchups.
Oh boy.
I will pick two co-hosts. Their job is to each take one side in that matchup. You'll get 1 minute to present your case, and then the third co-host who did not get picked will choose a winner, and that person will get the point for this round. Does all that
Okay.
make sense?
Okay.
Yeah.
Yes. I'm ready to fight. I'm ready to learn
Okay.
and fight.
So this is just essentially apples to apples? Okay.
It is very apples to
Right.
apples. So to begin with, I would like everybody to pick a number between 1 and 10.
6.
Oh, we saying
was
it
it
out
6
loud?
from Jay?
Oh,
Two.
sorry.
Yeah, yeah, say it
Sorry.
out loud.
I thought they were
I
supposed to.
thought we
Two
were
from-
typing it. I didn't know if it was a secret or not. Okay, 4. Sheesh.
Oh, okay. Jay is out. Max
Oh.
and Stevie were both too close to call. So, in fact, that we're going to take that to mean Jay is the judge this
Oh,
round.
perfect. I
dear.
love to judge games I don't have an understanding of. This rips.
Okay. So, now you may, once we get into it, you may notice a theme in these matchups that I'm presenting you with.
Okay. Oh God.
So, in the following battle, Stevie,
What?
you are representing Gandalf the Grey, from the Lord of the Rings series.
Pretty good.
Badass.
And Max, you're representing Goku.
Wait, are they fighting?
Yeah, they're fighting. Gandalf the Grey versus Goku.
I'm
Yeah.
so sorry for this matchup, Stevie. Because
Just Gandalf?
Goku would destroy
No.
Gandalf.
Hold.
I have-
Let's
do I have- Do I have Gandalf and crew, or do I just have the tall boy?
we're gonna let's keep it clean, ladies and gentlemen. Let's keep it clean. I'm gonna hold you guys back. Okay, so we're gonna give you 1 minute each to state your case. Are starting with Stevie? Okay, are we ready?
I guess so. I don't know if it's just Gandalf or if it's the whole team.
It's just Gandalf.
His
Damn,
name is
okay.
his name is
Mano
not
y
Gandalf
mano.
and the whole team. You
Yo,
know
look.
it's just Gandalf. Don't
You
be
better
like
leave
you
me
don't know.
alone.
You do
You better
know.
leave me alone, because I could be dealing with Gandalf the Grey or Gandalf the White. Okay, so I don't know which one I'm dealing with. Okay.
We'll say Gandalf the White if that helps.
That's
And,
that's like him
Shadowfax
powered
as well.
up, right? Because that's the
Yeah.
equivalent
Yeah,
to Super
yeah.
Saiyan Goku.
That's essentially Gandalf Super Saiyan.
That's Super Saiyan Gandalf. Yeah.
I approve.
Hi there, everybody. Future Max here. In the edit, as we speak, you may remember from season 1, we had an issue where we were losing Stevie's mic during some of the recordings, and it popped up again here. I've tried to edit around it wherever I could, but wherever I couldn't, you will hear this music. And that just means that there's some dialogue missing there from Stevie that we weren't able to save. Anyway, thanks very much. Talk to you soon. Okay, Stevie, are you ready? Your minute begins now.
Gandalf the Grey, who turned into the White, had crushing defeat at the hands of his arch nemesis Sauron. Right? So, this is about as far as I could get because I don't know jack shit about Lord of the Rings. All right, let's go. We're gonna make shit up now. So, here's the thing. Gandalf the White won crushing defeat. You need that in order to unlock your higher power, right? Like we know, Goku gets his ass beat like on the regular, like stays getting his ass beat. His son beats his ass just to remind him of his place in the world, which is below literally everybody. So Goku, gets his ass beat all the time, which is why he's he also can, summon fire and trees and shit. And so he can probably also be Goku's ass. Oh, God damn.
All right, that's your minute. That's your
That was
minute, Stevie.
horrible.
Okay, no, well
Max
orated.
Kostrak.
Oh, thanks.
Max
Ugh.
Kostrak, you have a 1 minute rebuttal, and it begins now.
All right, well, here's the thing, is that Stevie's absolutely right that when a character, especially a Saiyan in DBZ lore, is defeated, he comes back stronger. This is what we call the Zenkai boost. And Stevie made the argument for me. Gandalf did fall once. He fell down into a big pit and fought a big fiery monster, and he died. And then he came back stronger. Goku has died way more times and lost way more times, which is why exponentially his power is so much greater. And the fact of the matter is that the fact that Gandalf uses magic does not matter because Goku defeats wizards on the regular. There are many different arcs in which the wizard that Goku needs to kill is essentially a magic-wielding wizard who is immortal. And the fact that he is able to overcome this in the narrative time and time again just tells me that Goku has always been destined to win in a one-on-one fight. It's an unfair matchup, Stevie, and I'm sorry. I cede the rest of my time.
That's great. You had 1 second remaining.
Yeah,
Jay,
and I gave it up.
Oh, wow, that's
You were
very
gonna
generous of
Maxine
you.
So you Maxine watered me? Get out of here, Kostrak. Don't you ever look at me again.
Jay, you're the judge. Who gets the point this round?
Hello, yes, thank you so much. So it was valiant effort on both sides. I would like to commend Stevie for working with, as she admitted, kind of very little there. I also would have been absolutely fucked if I was made to speak on behalf of Gandalf, just not being enough of a Lord of the Rings head myself. So I do commend those efforts. However, the point has to go to Max Kostrak, who did look at the opponent at hand and understand exactly what Goku had fought before that was like a Gandalf. Because correctly, there are so many. I have not watched all of Dragon Ball Z. I have watched bits of Z, bits of
There
original,
is magic
and
and
bits of
wizards.
Super. There are so.
There's at least one wizard. Yeah.
I don't think people. No, not at least one. I don't think people give enough credit for the number of wizards in Dragon Ball Z, and Kostrak really came with fangs out on the wizard front. So the point.
I mean, here's the thing. Newland has it out for me. He's been trolling me since season 1.
Oh, now come on.
So he knew when he gave that Dragon Ball Z shit to Kostrak, he was like, "Well, we did just do a whole Dragon Ball Z podcast together for forever and ever and ever."
Yeah, I was
and
gonna say,
like,
giving me Goku was a little bit of a gimme.
Okay,
that's
No, we did pick numbers out of 10. Is that what those numbers were, or
no? The numbers were for something else. But,
oh my god!
But trust me,
Newland's about to give me Pikachu, isn't he?
No. So,
okay.
Max, you're gonna step down. You're
Yep.
gonna be the judge this round, Max.
Oh man, I gotta argue again.
It's Jay versus Stevie.
Let's go,
Stevie, your
Stevie.
turn will come next.
All right. I don't know. It's fine. It's cool. Ooh.
So Stevie, I can't help
got
but
this.
notice that I didn't let you win, and now we're fighting. Let me remind you that it is nice to be above concepts such as revenge.
Oh no, I'm a Scorpio. Nah, I'm a Scorpio. My birthday's Halloween. You don't get any mercy from me. I'm so sorry.
Fuck.
Sorry for your life.
Shit. This is
Sorry
the
you're
worst
dead.
possible
Okay.
scenario.
Jay,
Hello.
you are representing Saitama from One Punch Man.
Okay. All right. I can work with that.
Stevie,
Yeah.
you are representing Goku.
Oh.
This game kicks ass.
This rips. This rules. Okay.
There were so many fucking threads with the topic Goku. You have no idea. Okay.
Okay.
Like I said before, you got 1 minute each. Jay's up first.
Okay.
Goku's always going to be on the defensive here.
Got it.
Jay, your 1 minute begins now.
All right, excellent. We may now consider Saitama One Punch Man. His full name, that's his full name. So here's the thing about Saitama. As we know from the very beginning of the show, he can defeat anyone in one punch, and that makes him really depressed. Turns out that being good at something means you don't like it anymore. His whole deal is that he just wants to fight someone who is so strong that they cannot be defeated in one punch. At least that is his whole deal as of the about half of the first season of that anime that I watched several years ago. Goku. Let us consider Goku, much like the wizard situation before, Goku is the perfect opponent for Saitama because Goku is everything Saitama wants. Because he cannot kill him in one punch, he will kill him in as many
10-second
punches
warning.
as it takes. I cede my time.
Wow. Okay, as many punches as it takes.
As many punches as it takes.
Nice
Stevie.
tagline.
So, one thing I like is that we are very collaborative in beating each other's ass. So I appreciate that. But
Fair,
here's the
valid,
thing.
heard.
Goku, practically immortal, as we've already established. Saitama, wanting to defeat somebody with a single punch. Or no, defeat somebody with more than one punch because he's really good and he's depressed. Not only is Goku everything that Saitama is the perfect enemy for Saitama. Goku is everything that Saitama isn't. Saitama is depressed because he's so good, nothing is fun anymore. He's also bald now. He wasn't bald once. Remember how Goku got stronger and still kept his hair? Damn, what's it feel like to be a man? So, on top of that, so he's going to be happy. Every one of his defeats for Goku is not a loss, it's a lesson. So he'll just figure out ways to essentially end the life of Saitama because while he's strong, he's not immortal. Goku could do this all day. As we've been established, Goku does this all the time. Goku do it for forever. Dragon Balls, come on. Anytime he
10-second
wants.
warning.
I receive my time.
Wow.
I love the
We get it.
confidence we have. All right,
Strong,
Judge
strong.
stepping up. First of all, these were two really fantastic arguments. Give yourselves a pat on the back. And I hope that this isn't like the pattern that the rest of the game follows, but I am going to give it to Goku again.
I could smell it in the air.
It's mostly going to come down to A, the fact that Goku will always come back. Yes, he can be killed, but he's going to come back. But B, the hair comment. Really, Stevie. A fantastic point. Hard to dispute.
Thank you.
Goku never went bald. You know?
Never went bald.
Yeah, that was the moment where I was like, Stevie got me.
Not only did Goku never go bald, Goku's hair got longer in some instances. Am I wrong?
That's true. He is
You're
like
right.
the opposite of.
Yes. He's like the literal
Saitama in a
opposite of
really
Saitama.
Interesting way.
Yeah,
Yep,
for sure.
absolutely.
Down to
Wow.
personality and everything. It's wild. Yeah.
Many such cases. Okay, Stevie,
Okay.
your true gift is being the judge for this next round. You get to sit it out as Max steps back into the ring
Ooh.
against Jay this time.
All right, let's do this,
Okay.
Max.
Let's go.
Max, you are taking the side of Sora Kingdom Hearts,
Okay.
and Jay, you're taking the side of Goku.
Hell yeah, I am. Everyone gets it. Goku is really the town bike of this forum, isn't he?
Or is Goku the Eminem in this? Like, is anyone familiar with this? Where like some people will try
It
to.
feels so empty without him, doesn't it?
It's like
Yeah.
Eminem that just keeps winning each fight here. What's going on?
Real quick, before we get into the arguments, I have to ask you, Max, are you sending the winner forward, or is this something where you had planned for 3 different Goku matchups?
That's why I said what I just said. Yeah.
It's all Goku all the way down.
I knew it. See, this
I
is
was gonna
you.
say-
This is typical Newland.
Yeah, this man did not plan for a moment that there would be a anti-Goku lead.
Oh, of course not. Of course not.
Rigged.
Okay, so Jay, you're
Yes.
going first, and like I said, you're speaking on behalf of Sora Kingdom Hearts.
Oh,
Are you
boy.
ready?
I thought. Wait, I thought.
Oh, I
Max
thought it was the
Sora
reverse.
Kingdom Hearts.
No, other way. You're right. Max, you're going first.
Okay.
Speaking on behalf of Sora Kingdom Hearts. Are
Don't
you
you
ready?
dare rob me of my turn with my precious man, Goku.
I am ready. Yeah, everybody gets a turn with Goku.
Everybody gets a turn with Goku. All right. On my mark, 1, 2, 3, begin.
Okay, here is the crux of the problem here is that Sora is all about friendship. His power, I think almost all of us have played Interstitial. We know that power comes from the heart and the bonds that we make with our friends. And this is why he is the perfect foil to Goku, because they will not fight. They are not going to fight one another. They're going to team up and fight somebody else. There is no reality in which Sora and Goku are going to kill each other. It's just not going to happen. And so through the power of friendship, they are going to tackle a foe together. But wait, hold on, it's almost the end of the fight. Who's going to sacrifice themselves at the last moment? That's right, it's Goku, leaving Sora the only living member and the winner of the fight, in air quotes. End of argument.
Wow. All right. So that
All
was
right,
a short one.
Okay, yeah.
Had 11
Wow.
seconds left on the clock by the end there.
Wow.
Jay,
Yes,
are you ready?
I certainly am.
Okay. And 3, 2, 1, take it away.
Max, I would like to quote something you said a little bit ago in a previous round, which is that yes, Goku has died. In fact, he has died many times. I'm very glad you brought up the friendship concept and how important that is to this match, because you're absolutely correct. They would team up and fight a bigger foe, and Goku would go down for his friend Sora. However, as he has done as easily as you or I may go to the grocery store to get some goddamn bread, he would come back from his grave the next day. He would wave at Mr. God, I don't remember his name, on his way out, pop back up, and the anime series that we are watching, the crossover event of the century, would end with him then coming back to life and challenging Sora to stake their friendship and solidify it on a 1v1 match, as he, what bonds you more than that fight after everything else has been done? And in that fight, Goku would win, because that is how he creates every meaningful friendship in his life.
That's time. All right. We've heard 2 compelling arguments.
I now know what it's like to to be on the other side of like a Phoenix Wright style courtroom, like where an argument is physically harming me.
We've all fought Goku. We can now all say we fought Goku.
You can now say you've all fought Goku.
But it's Stevie's choice.
That's true.
I don't know how defense lawyers do it, Doug. I don't know. Wow. Y'all were passionate. Oh my God. See, I
Strong
came up
arguments,
here.
yeah.
They're so strong. I came up here being like, I ain't gonna give nobody a fucking compliment. Yo, you deserved it. Good job. I'm so proud of you. Fuck. That was actually, that was difficult because the Sora one, I was like, damn, he's really not gonna kill him. And then Max was like, he would die for him. I was like, damn, that is insidious as fuck.
An arc.
Truly a whole arc. But then I got stuck on listening to Jay, and I was like, wait, but how many health bars would Goku have in Kingdom Hearts?
Surely a lot.
Uncountable, I think.
Like, how many colors? How many color bars did you go
It would go back to being green again. I feel
like a couple.
You know what I mean? That's how you know you're in trouble.
Wow.
All right.
Oh my God.
Ooh.
Solemnly lowering Goku into his grave.
I'll be back in like a week.
Yeah, We don't even bury him anymore.
Yeah. We just leave him on the couch.
We just leave him out in the field. Yeah.
Trust me. It's no big deal. Hey, so that means that Max Kostrak, you're the winner of this week's game with 2 points. Oh my goodness.
I feel like it's been a while since I won a game. I'm so happy.
Congratulations.
No, Riley beat our ass last week.
Of course, Riley beat y'all's asses. Nothing is less surprising to me on this earthly coil.
I have to tell you, all 3 times you guys voted against the Versus Battle Wiki community.
Really?
Wait, what?
Yeah, so I know I really just want to talk about this. Like, I know we got a podcast to do, but like,
we'll get there.
No, yeah, go.
We'll
off,
get there.
King.
The fucking against Gandalf, they were just like reality manipulation ability, Gandalf stomps, end of thread. Like that was the extent of the discussion.
No way.
Basically.
Wow.
And also in the one with Sora, they were just like, Goku's too fast. There's no way.
I mean, I guess.
Honestly,
but again, not
right.
fighting.
Yeah.
Like there's 2 ways of going about this, right? One is by the numbies, and the other is writing a fanfic about what would happen, which is what Max did.
Right.
And these guys are fully number pilled, like 100%. Like, this is math to them.
I'm pretty sure I interacted with some of these people on game FAQs in the 90s. I'm certain, like...
I guess, I don't know, the Saitama one, I think mostly because Goku cannot die, like the Saitama one, I still think that Goku would win it for sure.
If I could make an actual argument for it, I believe in the like canon of the manga, Saitama has some like world-breaking shit going on.
Well, that's true. In the anime, he like punches
Yeah.
a hole through like the biggest person in the universe or something like that. Something insane.
Now, the one that was inconclusive was Goku versus Kratos from God of War.
Whoa, okay.
That's
I
the
just
one
watched
that
a
was
playthrough of
inconclusive to them.
Ragnarok. That dude is metal as fuck. Okay, like
They're both
pretty
Super
fucking
Saiyans
sick.
in their own way.
yeah, yo, and he made a kid who sucks. Man, that kid sucks in Ragnarok.
And now, it's time. Now that we've crowned the victory of this week's episode, it's time to get into talking about anime, which
Hell yeah.
I'm been so looking forward to. Trigun is such a wonderful experience.
Yeah, let's go.
Mm-hmm.
Let's get into it. What happened?
Let's talk about what happened. In episode 9, Nicholas D. Wolfwood, the traveling priest, is at the ass end of a 100-aisle journey through the desert. Millie drops Vash's name, and Nick is over the moon to meet him. And despite some initial friction, they're fast friends. Oh, hold on, the plot has arrived. In the form of a robot. Actually, it's a ton of robots. Yikes! In their haste to flee, a young girl gets left behind, and the 2 new friends dash to her rescue. And what a rescue it is! With the girl safe from danger, Nick and Vash strike at the source, a big factory making those death bots. Just when all seems lost, Vash pulls out a new trick, though it's not exactly clear what he did or how. Then he just kind of turns the factory off. At the next stop, Wolfwood parts ways with the gang, and they get back to their usual shtick pretty fast. In episode 10, Quick Draw, Vash takes it upon himself to check in on Neil, one of the neighborhood kids, who's being kind of a loner lately, only to find Wolfwood there already hard at work. Nick drops a plan in Vash's lap. Register for the local Quick Draw Championship and donate the $50,000 double prize to a family in need. No sweat, right? Trouble may be on the horizon, but the Stampede gang managed to have a fun night together regardless. The next day, Vash isn't at 100% after a few gallons of what we can only presume is called galcohol, but of course he smokes the competition. Intending to step down, Nick gets wrapped up in the blackmail against Neil and his mom and is forced to fight Vash one-on-one. V and W shoot it out, physically and emotionally, before mutually blasting each other and falling down dead. Psych! It was Ketchup! From before, remember? Their ruse revealed, they easily overwhelm the gang, muscling in on May City and restore peace. And that's what happened.
We love to hear it. Oh my gosh. Who got his Italian name?
I think the star of these 2 episodes and what we have to talk about and what a lot of conversation here is going to be is this Wolfwood fellow, right?
Yeah.
this Wolfwood fellow.
Oh,
right,
this fella.
truly. This guy, this real long boy, Wolfwood.
The only man as long as Vash the Stampede.
Truly, honestly, like the tallest boy in the room. I was really excited because this is the second time we've seen a cross gun, and I was very excited, and it's used different. Or is it the same gun?
That's right.
Is it the same gun? I can't remember.
Wait, what's
But
the other time you've seen a cross gun?
The
The first episode, I think.
first episode.
Yeah.
The first episode.
Oh, really?
A mustachioed older bounty hunter in a duster.
Oh,
has
oh,
it strapped to his back and like throws it down. Yeah.
That's the guy who says his name is Loose Ruth, also known as Constance Rifle. A sentence that
God,
for whatever
yes.
reason will always live in my brain. I last rewatched the
Absolutely.
show a couple years ago, and that has just been in my head for the last 2 years since. I don't even
Loose
know why.
Ruth.
Loose Ruth was also known as Constance
Yes.
Rifle.
It was cool to see it, and I like that Wolfwood's whole thing. Like the thing that I wrote, I said I was trying to make a joke and it was a bad one, so it fell flat. But essentially, that Wolfwood is essentially Vash, but
Yes.
he's clear-eyed about his
Mm.
purpose. I like how they are in their own ways. Like they're not even 2 sides of the same coin. They're just like the same coin, essentially.
They're the same guy.
Yeah,
Twice
they're,
over.
yeah, they're the
Very
same
much so.
guy.
Brothers.
It's like it's the concept of if this person was raised in different circumstances, whatever those may be, right, without giving too much away, but for me, I guess probably also as a person of color, it's not to get super deep into it, but like from a personality standpoint, almost the same as a zip code lottery. Like it's just like these people have similar ways of going about life. They actually have the same principles, but it's like how that emotionally affects them is considerably different. Because like a big thing that Wolfwood
Sure.
says all the time is about how Vash smiles, and essentially saying that like your smile doesn't reach your eyes, it's really empty.
Yep.
Because after that moment with the children. And so it's like it was that kind of thing where I was like, huh, that's really striking. I wouldn't have caught that when I was fucking 12, but I caught it now, which I thought was really cool.
It's not just the it's the smile is so empty, and then it's also him noticing when the smile is genuine, right? Like it's both of those things. It's that he can but both of these guys, and this is something like I said, I have watched this show twice. I first saw it when I was like 17 or 18, then I watched it again a couple years ago. Every time I am surprised and to remember how immediate that sensation is of these guys can see right through each other.
Yeah.
And there is stuff that Max and Max, you don't know about either of them, but that like you can infer they are understanding from each other really
Yes.
quickly. And also
Yeah,
they
totally.
gain a very quick respect of each other for that, I think. Like, all right,
Yeah.
you see through me, so you'll watch my back in these ways and vice versa. And I just
Yeah.
think that is such a cool character dynamic that just comes together and slick as gasoline. It's so good.
And you have a show that has the wherewithal to take that dynamic and then put these 2 characters in a duel against each other. Hell yeah.
Yeah.
This show kicks ass.
It's so
Yeah.
great. It's so great.
A lesser anime, when they parted at the end of episode 9, would have put some episodes in between the next time we see Wolfwood.
Uh-huh.
No,
Like,
Yeah.
he
They would
walked
have spaced that
10
out.
feet down the road and entered into the first saloon.
It's like the
Absolutely.
next, it's like 2 days later in the same town.
Yeah.
It's so funny.
And they make so much hay out of it at the end of episode 9 where he's like, I guess I'll see you guys later.
This
Yeah.
is
You know, like, I was-
forever.
Yeah.
I was really like, okay, wow, I guess Wolfwood's like an occasional treat.
I did not expect him
Yeah.
to see him in episode 10.
When Wolfwood came up, I was like, hold on. I really feel like he doesn't just go away. So the end of 9, I was like, why would you say that like that? Like my head was like, that was bad dubbing. You didn't need that line. And then from the next episode, I was like, okay, yeah, he was just fucking. He was fucking around. Got it. Cool. Can we talk about for a second when Vash meets Wolfwood for the first time? Did anybody catch the name that Vash
Oh my
tried to
God.
give?
The
Oh my God.
extremely
Wolfwood?
long name.
Like this crazy ass
Which paragraph of it?
Fucking Monty Python bit.
long name that's like maybe Italian, maybe just dead ass fake Latin, like some lorem ipsum s shit. I was like, what?
I was lost for the 45 seconds. I don't know how long that was. It is a very long name.
I need to go watch it on Hulu.
Y'all, I got fooled.
I want to watch it on Hulu with the subtitles to see if they get all the words.
Max, you got fooled? How'd you get fooled?
I got fooled. I was like, oh shit, are we learning Vash's real name for the first time?
And then a slow dawning realization.
Yeah, Millie, by the way, hero of Earth, hero of my heart.
love Millie.
Best character
Oh
in the
my
whole
God.
goddamn show.
She's so good.
She is so funny in both of these episodes. Like,
Yes.
oh god, just her being like, "What do you mean,
Yeah,
Mr. Vash
yeah.
Stampede?" Just shut up, you're blowing my cover. The long name thing reminded me. I want to give a very quick shout out to a manga called Akane Banashi that started earlier this year. It is a manga. Akane Banashi. It is
Okay.
a manga about a traditional form of like one act or one man show called Rakugo, where a person sits in front of an
Oh, I know
audience and tells a very sorry, I should have led with that. It's based on that, where it's you're a person sitting telling a long story. It's about someone getting
Right.
into that world. It's a really good manga.
That's awesome.
There is a story that she has to tell. The main character has to tell for a big competition, where the gimmick is that it is about some people who have a kid that has an insanely long name. Like
I love it.
the parents go to a temple and are like, "What should we name our son?" The guy at the temple gives 20 name suggestions. They can't pick one. They choose all of them.
They take them all.
Wow.
The resulting name is like 5 paragraphs. It's like Jukumu Korinu Surugetsu. It just keeps going, and I was getting
love
such a
this.
flashback to that because I just read this like a month ago. I'm just having such a flashback to that as Vash is going through his insane pig Latin name that he's trying to build for himself in real time.
Yeah. Like, and I think that's what that was a testament to the voice actor, because he definitely was like, I
Oh, yeah.
got the
Oh, yeah.
impression that
Yeah.
like the note was to make it sound like you can't decide on a good name to stop on. Because it was like, it was,
Yes, yes.
How long is this bit?
It's like, great, cool. You can't decide what your last name is.
Did y'all watch this dubbed or subbed? How have you been going through this?
Oh, we've been watching it dubbed because
Yeah.
the mission of Anime Club is to recreate that
The
like early
nostalgia.
aughts feeling, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah, localization's part of the conversation.
Yeah.
This
localization's
time
fun.
I did watch these 2 episodes subbed, actually, only because I've never done that before, because both times I've watched it, it's been the dub, which is Johnny Young Bosch as Vash. Like, he's great. Like,
Yep.
Absolutely, yes.
y'all have probably talked about it. But what I was going to say about that is, like, both in the Japanese and English, the actor does so much work with that name. Like,
That's
whether
so
it's
right.
Sure.
whether it's the Japanese
You have
voice
to.
or it's Johnny, it's incredible what they do with it.
That's so good. I love that.
I'm glad you got us onto the subject because I did want to shout out the voice actor who performs Nicholas D. Wolfwood.
Mm-hmm.
That's one Jeff Nimoy, who,
Hmm.
yes, last episode we talked about how the kid, Kite,
Yeah.
was voiced by the same woman who plays Izzy on Digimon.
Oh, wow.
Mm-hmm.
Now, this episode, and of course, all the other episodes that Nicholas D. Wolfwood's in, has a similar connection. Jeff Nimoy
Yeah.
played Tentomon. So,
No
like, literally
shit.
right
cool.
alongside the kid from last episode in
That's
in
cool.
every episode. He was also Gabumon. Jeff Nimoy's been around forever. He's been doing anime for a very long time. He has a huge list of credits, as many people who do anime dubbing do.
It's so
No
cool.
kidding.
I love
That's
that.
such an
That's
incredible
awesome.
connection. I love that. Yeah.
There's also another one, the mayor of the town in episode 10.
Yeah.
He's played by Jamieson Price, who, again, been around forever in the anime dubbing business. He was in Dragon Ball Z. He was Captain Ginyu in one of the dubs. He's
Oh.
been like the announcer voice in some of the Dragon Ball Z video games and things
Hell
like that.
yeah, that's awesome.
That's a good voice right there.
That's awesome.
Yeah, he's got a great one.
Very
I love
cool.
that. Not on the subject of voice actors, but on the subject of the words that the voice actors say. There was a really cool there was a really I'm gonna say it a bunch of times. There was a really cool guy exchange. When they were in the facility, once they
yes.
went through the quicksand.
Yeah.
And he was like, they were like, so now what do we do? He's like, oh well, I had something double dollars, but I spent most of it, I blew most of it in cards, but I got a little bit of money. And they're like, well, let's go to a casino. And I was like, whoa,
They're best friends. They're best friends immediately.
Oh yeah, then let's find ourselves a casino. It's like the coolest way to say, let's go fuck shit up. I was like, oh no.
For no reason in particular, I just want to make sure everybody remembers what Vash said a few episodes ago, back in season 1 when we were watching the show, about how if he ever did sleep with a man, it would be a beautiful man.
Look no
That's
further.
right.
I'm just telling you.
Hold on.
The
I
romantic
have
tension
established
here.
he is bisexual. That is a bisexual.
Oh, he's
man.
100% bisexual, and
Definitely.
he is literally in love with Nicholas D. Wolfwood.
Absolutely 100%. Find me that fan fiction, Newland. Go.
There are.
so
I'm
much of it.
certain there are thousands upon thousands.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Of
Make
Vash
that a
Oh,
question
Wolfwood
the next time we
fanfic.
do a fan fiction
Yeah,
game.
absolutely.
Just the
It's been
crunchiest
30
one.
years since this show came out. Their fanfic writers have had almost 30 years to write
Yes.
that. I guarantee you they have been busy.
Oh, on the subject of episode 9, but also on our childhood in general. Did anybody as a child have a ridiculous fear of quicksand because of shit like
Oh,
TV
yeah.
shows?
Oh my god.
Okay, because that's what I thought of when they went to the quicksand. I was like, why was quicksand in every fucking
It's in
TV show?
everything.
It's in everything. You're not around quicksand
It's in
like that.
fucking never.
It's just a
never-ending
natural
story,
trap
right?
door. That's all it is.
Uh-huh. I did have a fear of a similarly Indiana Jonesy thing, scorpions, and the idea of being near a scorpion.
Oh,
So not
getting
quicksand,
scorped.
but I understand where it comes from, because I feel like those were also just like,
Yeah.
a scary bug that if it touches you, you'll
You'll
die.
die. Yeah,
Jay, did you grow up
so
in a
good.
place that was near any real scorpions?
No, I live in upstate New York.
That's what I was
literally
waiting
as
for,
far-
yeah.
I have
Hell
lived in
yeah.
upstate New York my entire life.
Like, that's the thing. Like, it was like this fear of quicksand.
One of those New York scorpions.
Yeah, one of those fucking New York scorpions and out of those New York deserts, those secret deserts they got up in the Adirondacks. We don't talk about them much, but they're in there. You gotta
my
look.
God. That's so, and like, that's the thing. It's crazy. I'm like, why was quicksand in everything? But Kostrak explained it to me. It's a convenient natural trapdoor. That's
Yeah,
actually a really valid, like, yeah, okay, I accept
Yeah.
that.
Yeah.
I
Yeah,
accept
totally.
that. Oh yeah,
All
okay,
writers
plot
use
device.
trapdoors.
I was gonna
Um,
say, don't you have a major in English? Yeah, okay, so I'm gonna trust you on this.
yeah. I'm pulling in my deep knowledge of stories.
Yeah, I'm relying on your BFA here, buddy.
Can I point out one moment? We talk so much about Wolfwood and Vash and this duo. There's this moment I think that really encapsulated it for me, and it was when they both jumped up in the air and Vash was shooting his gun at one of the robots, and Wolfwood is just holding out his hands in a finger gun
Yes.
and not contributing
Oh my God.
anything. It's
Yes.
I missed
so
that.
good.
Well, because when I love that shot of them both jumping out the bus, rolling down the hill, and both
Yes.
getting up on one knee, and then
Yeah.
him realizing someone put the clip in the chat of him going, "Oh shit!" when he
Yeah.
realizes he left his cross back on the bus.
Uh-huh.
I love that.
Uh-huh.
I just
Incredible staging.
it has very strong like sibling energy. It's like very strong like little brother trying to be like big brother energy, and it was like, I love this. This is what I would like. Now, Keith.
Did anyone
And just shove
Well,
them together?
Did anyone else notice, and I'm sorry, I'm sorry to fixate on it, but I wrote it down in my notes because it was so prominent to me, the indulgent, lingering shot of Wolfwood's cleavage as he fetches a a like half a cigarette from the inside pocket of his jacket. Did
yeah,
anybody
he's
else
like-
notice
he's
this?
digging
Because the
in that-
camera fucking loved it. Okay.
He's digging behind that lapel for ages.
Uh-huh.
He's got his wallet in there.
He's got his look. We had to look at that whole pectoral muscle. Okay, we had to see all of it.
We did have to.
The show
You're
was
right.
very intentional about it.
They were like a little fan service for the ladies and the boys.
It's refreshing to see that, to be honest with you. Like, there is, I feel like mainstream anime is a very hetero space.
Yeah.
Like, generally.
Oh yeah.
And
you don't say.
Even if it's kind of veiled in the way it is with like My Hero Academia, Dragon Ball, like those kind of things, which are all about like intense relationships between men.
Yeah.
Weirdly,
Yeah.
you know.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I think it is. I mean, it's also just like in the case of this, like in this case, there's also the fact that Wolfwood is a priest, right? He's a preacher. We haven't even like talked
That's
that much
right.
about that. He's a man of the cloth, and that very much like making him the horny. He is the horniest looking guy in the whole show, as far as at least like main characters go. But like that, you know, there's so much to. Okay, he's a priest who has a big sexy chest and carries a cross full of guns. Like that is such a pointed thing for how that character is meant to be interpreted as well. Which like. I don't know. Not saying the version of this I can say to two of you who haven't watched the whole show. Trigun is so much a show about who people are versus their appearances. That's not a surprise. You've been with Vash for several episodes now, right?
No, that's our. We actually talked about that in episode 1.
Sure.
How clearly that was a running theme here in the first even 2 episodes of the show. It was absolutely saying that out loud to the camera.
Yeah.
And that's the whole hook, right? And so that's another way that they mirror each other, is that they are both those people with appearances that veil a lot about who they really are, which then goes back into them being able to read each other so well. It is just such a good dynamic from moment 1.
Yeah.
I love these 2 episodes.
Absolutely.
Very well considered.
Just to like say it out loud, absolutely ruled.
Yeah, they were amazing.
I
they were really cool. They were full of so much danger. They were full of so much like danger and urgency. I think that's a thing that sometimes we struggle, like not we struggle with, but I struggle with.
Sure.
Like things that the anime can fall into the trap of, especially these self-indulgent animes like Trigun. And I don't say that in a negative sense. I mean, like truly, what I like about Trigun is aesthetically, it's a very like vibes anime, and like I mean, I think about like how like the way that it's directed, the way that it's animated, the way that it's like, it's, you know, because it's the grandioseness of like a Western, like that's why it is a Western. So it is really indulgent in that way. Oh no, I lost the thought. Oh no, where was it going? Please help. Oh no.
Well, I think what it comes down to is this idea of, I think for every like poetic moment that it has, it also is spending the same amount of time shooting a lot of guns.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, and it makes for a wonderful ballet. Like I have
it really does.
A beautiful ballet.
One thing I wanted to say about one thing I wanted to say about Wolfwood, and especially about how and going back to the Pecs thing, and just splitting them out, is this is the first person who is a protagonist, because I will say that our light up truck man was definitely just like super
BDN.
BDN. Big Dick Neil. That's right. That's what I called him last week.
Big Dick Neil, yeah.
Big Dick Neil. Is like he's the first like protagonist we have that's actually in any sort of way sexualized. Like he's the only person who's got like swagger. Because I mean, like, and that's one thing I really like. Because Millie and Meryl are not sexualized at all. Anytime somebody tries to sexualize them in the show, like it falls flat. They're like, like, you know, it doesn't work.
It just bounces right off.
It bounces right off.
One of the nicest things about the show, honestly, is that fact.
Yeah. And anytime Vash tries to sexualize anybody, as we saw even in episode 10, anytime he tries, he's immediately flatly and vehemently denied. So it's like, this is a person who is allowed to be charming and attractive and like all of this stuff. And like, it's like, I wonder if it has anything to do with anything. I just wanted to point that out.
I'm so glad you said that. I want to make a statement here that I don't know if I can back up, but I think it's true. Vash the Stampede is 90s Bayonetta. Now hear me out.
Oh my
Oh
god.
Because both of them, whenever they like obviously Bayonetta, the video game character, is a lot more about the camera swoops up her crotch and you see crazy hair go all over the place. But it's not like you're not supposed to look at it and get a boner. You're supposed to be like, it's very funny that this looks sexy while she's summoning a demon to fight, I don't know, God and his friends. Like, similarly, not super similarly, but similarly in how I think about it, Vash the Stampede is a being who at times wants to be sexy, wants to be charming, wants to get the girl, wants to make someone fall in love with him, but his methodology is so goofy that nothing about it can generate anything but just laughing at the attempt, and not even laughing at him, but just the fact that he is the guy that he is and doing that. Like there's something to this thought. I don't know if I can go.
He's got that big like Looney Tunes energy to him.
Yeah, he's a
only
clown.
capable of being as sexy as Bugs Bunny.
Yeah, he's a clown. Like
Which
he's
unfortunately
literally
has
a clown
cat,
character,
right? Like
yeah.
Vash, Bugs Bunny, and Bayonetta would hang out together. It's all I'm trying to
true.
say.
It's so true.
Theater kids, which one is he? Isn't he Buffon? Which clown is he? Because he's a clown. Like he's one of them.
Oh, he's Arlecchino. He's Arlecchino.
He's
100%.
Yeah, absolutely. Like
because he has big dreams and he's romantic.
Yeah.
And he has dreams of being a romantic person.
but he's also a fool.
Exactly. Yeah,
Exactly.
that's exactly who he is. Like he's truly a clown. He's a clown.
Whereas
like
Wolfwood
Paddington.
is more of a Wolfwood's more of a Pulcinella type character, where he's led by his heart still, and there's room for that romance to be like a real thing for Wolfwood.
Yeah.
But he still tends toward clownishness.
But most importantly,
Absolutely.
all clowns.
All clowns.
Mhm.
Clowns
All
all the way
clowns,
down.
every single one of them.
Clowns all the way
100%.
down. All of them.
Meryl and Millie are certainly clowns. I don't know
I
any
would
of
say
these
on the
names, but
subject of
certainly.
Millie, can we talk about how Millie has a third stomach for getting drunk, and also
Yeah.
Millie's a
Millie
party
kicks
girl.
ass.
Millie
so
continues
good.
to be one of my favorite characters
I
in
also
all
think
of anime.
is this the first time we've seen her fire this gun? Because I don't remember the
No.
shooting.
She
like-
fired this
It
gun
can't be.
she fired this gun in one of the last episodes. We just saw her do it. We just saw her do it.
Because I feel like the whole payoff of it's a giant intimidating gun, but what it shoots aren't bullets. They're like, like restrainment
Big
devices.
metal crosses.
That's
Yeah.
crosses. It comes up again. That's like an earlier gag for sure. They've got to do the payoff on that
cross
early.
No,
shooting
we
gun.
said it. I can't remember because she gives herself a silly name because like Meryl's Derringer Meryl.
Stun
gets
gun
a-
Millie.
Yeah.
Stun gun Millie. So it's a stun gun. It looks like a Gatling gun. No, this is we
Hell
saw her
yeah.
do it when they infiltrated Big Dick Neal's group. Remember they pull their hoods off to put
Derringer, Meryl,
yeah.
and Stun Gun Millie.
Derringer
yes.
Millie and Stun Gun Millie. So that's the time we saw her actually fire it. She's
That's true.
brandishing a
That's
lot,
true.
but she fired it the first time in that episode. So no, first of all, them just change in size. Those are some magical stunner restraints, because them just was big. She knocked something the fuck over with them things. I was like, I really expected them robots to be
That's
very
bludgeoning
large.
damage. I think that would kill a person if you hit them in the head with it.
100%. Millie's the barbarian of the group for sure. But like, yes, Millie is just the best party girl. She stays just lit all of the time. She stays
She's so
lit.
good.
It's so
She's
funny
so
because
good.
Meryl's like, "Hey, maybe we shouldn't let you drink."
Right.
And everyone's else like, yes, we should. How bad can it be?
Right. And Millie over here is like, I got 3 stomachs, 1 for pie, 1 for ice cream, and 1 for liquor. Truly. Absolutely.
Queen, iconic,
amazing.
truly iconic being.
Truly a
That-
legendary lady.
That scene where they all kind of hang loose with each other, I know they like very purposefully left a lot of that to the imagination,
Mhm.
but it is still so nice to see. I love when we get that time like devoted
Yes.
to the actual runtime of the
Yeah.
TV show to like
Mhm.
let everybody hang loose a little bit, like
Makes
know,
them more human.
I like
to
when they have
downtime.
fun. Yeah, exactly.
Me too.
Yeah,
I
yeah.
totally
What does everyone look like? Like the example I always think of. This isn't even like from like a show that does this, but like I always think of like when you have like roommates and you're all hanging out at 2 a.m. on a Saturday night, all like bitching about your
Yeah.
jobs or something, drinking beers. Like that is the most pure distillation of who the people in that room are, and that is very
Yes.
much the kind of thing you need to have in a show like this. And that is
Yeah.
absolutely what that moment. It's not even that long a scene, but yeah, that's absolutely what's going on there. They are just kicking back, talking about the job, you know.
It's more impactful when the heroes are people, I think. Because
Yes.
as an audience member, like it makes you, it's another layer for you to relate to them on, outside of the big tropes.
Totally.
Right. It's another layer for them to feel more personal. And I think that's always really important, especially with a show like this, because a show like this kind of asks for that. I don't want to say demands it, but like asks for that because you don't always get it. So I like that.
Definitely.
For sure. Can we one of these days we're gonna have an anime that has we're gonna have an anime episode that has a kid in it that I don't want to immediately punt. Neil was kind of that kid. He almost made it, but he also just had a snotty voice and I hated him. But
I know this isn't an accurate term, but I always just call them filler kids. Like every anime's got them, right? It's like, throw a kid in there. We need him for the plot.
I know.
Episode 10 has like 6 of them, yeah.
Yeah, a gang of filler kids.
I am watching Gundam Iron-Blooded Orphans right now, and boy, there's a couple of those in there, I feel like. But also, they are all gonna die tragically, I bet.
Right, true.
Yeah, that's a different circumstance.
That's a different type of filler kid where it's a body they need in war.
Woof. That was the thing. I mean, like, Neil was the only one who mattered because he was just so mean to Vash. And I was like, dang, he really can't get he has no respect. These kids are bad. They're always so bad in this show. Can we talk about this gunfight? Can we talk about this gun competition?
Yeah, please. Give me that. Give me that.
What did I put in the chat? The second? Or the thund?
How yeah.
Oh my God, that's right.
The flyers and the sign have rather than the third, it is the 3ND quick draw.
So is that the
Threen?
Is that the thrind?
And it's great because it's not just in one shot. It's not just on the poster. It is also
they
on the banner.
it.
And so it is a persistent, fantastic little mistake.
Look, they got the wild turkey.
It's not even. My thought is that it's much like the Isles thing, where it's just like we're taking an existing word and changing it a little bit.
Maybe that's how it is.
Setting. That's what I assumed. It might just be a mistake. Who knows? But I like the idea that much like Miles becomes Isles, third becomes thirdend, and we don't need to talk about why.
I don't know.
Don't think about it.
I would trust that, but look, we have screenshots where what was the resume where it was like pets okay?
Vash the Stampede.
Stampede.
Yeah, yeah. We did find some questionable writing earlier.
Vash the
in the
Stampede.
show.
That's what it was. So I'm like, see, we got receipts though. So I want that for us. No pets. No pets.
There is also, I'm looking at that flyer, there is also some insane handwriting on it where it says, please apply to the committee at the bottom. And in the word committee, it is impossible to tell where the T ends or in the two, and like the I on one side and the I that shouldn't be there on the other side begins.
I love
No
it.
one's quite sure.
That's so
good. There's no way to know.
There was a moment where the guy who was like running it or whatever was talking to a man behind the curtain. And he looked like handsome Squidward for a minute, and I was watching this episode on the train, and like under my breath on my mask, I just very loudly whispered, "Handsome Squidward!" And the guy next to me looked at me like, "What the fuck?"
Excuse me?
Excuse me? I was like, "Not you."
I really thought that guy was going to be a bigger deal.
Me too, and he was such
Handsome Squidward. I thought Handsome Squidward was going to be like a ringer that they put in the contest, right?
And he
was just there.
Wasn't he just wasn't he that fucking
guy.
idiot who walked backwards with a mask on his head?
Oh, that was so funny because you can see it when he first appears. I was like, "Is that guy walking backwards?"
There's such a good bunch of guys.
I wrote, "Why doesn't his mouth move?" I was like so upset.
And the guy who lights his own cigarette with his gun.
With his literal fucking SMG.
Man.
I was sitting here like, baby, you would not have a cigar after that. Whatever, anime sin. It was so silly though. I loved it. It was still really cool. I was like, that is metal.
Well,
impractical.
Just like when Morpheus shoots the Escalade with a gun in The Matrix 2 and it explodes, it's still cool, even though that would not happen.
Yes.
Escalades just do that.
Oh, I'm making this request now, Newland, so everybody knows. I want the sound, the eagle sound that was in the standoff in the duel. I want that to be my buzzer sound. It doesn't have to be anytime soon, but I want that sound.
I'll do my best.
Can I talk about sound for a second? Because this is something I have not
please.
yet brought up. But what is this music track that's in every episode that has the? It's like dogs are barking in it. It is this goof. Do you all know what I'm talking about? This goof.
I actually don't.
I should, and I don't offhand.
The music in the show, I actually love it, but there are a couple of tracks
I
that
have
are
a lot
like
of thoughts about the music
eccentric in a way that
Yeah.
I can't get over. So maybe I will find a clip and post it on Twitter or something, or track down this song.
If you can, that would be great, because it's at the edge of my mind. What you're saying sounds real. I don't think you're lying to us, but I cannot place it. I'm really glad you brought up music, though. Like, if I can, like, just talk about that, because, like,
please, this show's music is amazing.
So good.
one of the most entrancing things to me about this show. So I should say, Trigun. I watched it when I was 17 or 18, and it didn't even immediately rise to like become one of my top favorite anime of all time. It did eventually happen, but not immediately. But it very quickly like informed like building a really good setting through more than just what you're looking at, and the music is very much part of that.
Yeah.
Because there are so many parts, especially in the first episode we watched for this, where once they are in the giant underground facility, this crazy futuristic space facility, and there's just a steel guitar playing. Come on, it is such an amazing juxtaposition of like, you are seeing stuff that, you know, at first you start watching the show and you think maybe this is just a Western, but so quickly is obviously something other than just a Western. Like, just from the art design and all these other things, but as much as art design is a part of that, I really think the music choices are as well, where like, you know, it would be so easy to like have more sci-fi-ish sounds come into the soundtrack to let you know that there's other stuff going on. No, it's just guitars and the friends of guitars. Like, it is the choice to make that all be acoustic is something that is like followed me in terms of what I hear in my head when I write stories ever since, and I think it's
absolutely intentional.
That's
and
dope.
I love it. I think that when we said earlier that this show builds a vibe, it does that with every piece of it. It is not just
really does.
The story or the setting or the characters or the music or every one of these pieces is focused like a laser at generating Trigun.
Yeah, man.
Truly. 100%, I agree with that for sure. I love it. I like.
I'm gonna be actually quite sad
when we're done.
What?
Yeah.
Oh, I thought you just meant in general. I was like, oh, I'm sorry.
I mean, I'm gonna be sad just generally, but also I'm gonna be sad.
Seasonal depression's real.
Yeah,
after
true.
the next episode when we're done.
Oh yeah, but we can always watch it on our own time, or we can.
I will probably start watching it in my own time. Yes.
Yeah, I am gonna need y'all to watch the rest of it. Can I hope I'm not like talking over anyone too much. Max, can I ask you a question if that's not out of order?
Yeah, sure. What's up?
So at this point, do you have any like predictions, insight into what you think? Kind of what we were talking about earlier about like whether you call it a twist or not, what isn't being said yet about like what the setting of this show is, why there's a giant robot base underground that they go into. Do you have any guesses or theories or anything about the direction things are going in?
Well, for me, my guess is that Vash is an android, or is like a clone or something like that. Like that he's like, you know, something like that.
I had not even considered that. I was of the impression maybe that like there is some either alien or outer space tech and stuff going on here. Like I mean, some of the ancient tech and stuff like that. I have a hunch that it's going to revolve around some of that, because a lot of Vash's interactions have been with that tech. Some of the weird bullshit he has pulled so far.
Right. Like in episode 9, where he didn't have a gun.
And somehow,
didn't need it for some reason, and for some reason simply didn't need to know anything about the space to shut it down.
Yep, he walked in and pressed the right buttons.
Yeah,
he knew the right buttons, or he just guessed. He could be either one of those.
He might have just guessed. He's that lucky.
He's that lucky. I don't know. So I'm excited. I like going back through it now, having watched it recently enough to be like, oh yeah, I remember this moment. Oh yeah, I remember this moment. is to
Yeah.
this is a thing that I need to do more often, but I don't because I'm like a weird like one trick pony when it comes to watching TV shows often. How many things like that lead to the big reveal, how it's peppered in. I see it so much now, and so I'm just like, oh wow.
Yes.
Oh, whoa. Like, it's very exciting.
Absolutely, because so much of it is just like you're just like that, the underground place in episode 9. You're just shown it. There's no monologue going over it about what it is.
Nope.
It's just a physical space you are shown. Everything weird in this world is just a thing you are shown, and you'll get your answers when the show's ready to give them to you, and then you'll think back to those things and be like, oh yeah, that's what that was. And I love how effortlessly it does that and really like sticks the landing. I'm excited for y'all to. I hope you do both continue to watch it, Max through to the end, because boy, I think
if we don't cover it on this podcast, if we don't make it through the end, I'll be watching it on my own either way.
Absolutely, for sure.
I will say for season 2, I did a little extracurricular with one of these shows already. So anime.
You watch all of Yu Yu Hakusho, didn't you?
I've watched almost all of Yu Yu Hakusho.
I knew it. I was like, Yu Yu Hakusho, isn't it? Yeah.
That is what I spent the break doing.
I was gonna say, well, Yu Yu Hakusho is like, wasn't that your vanity pick?
It was my vanity pick, because I had not seen it,
your vanity pick.
And I had other friends who were actively recommending it to me, and I felt like it was a good companion to Sailor Moon.
Yeah.
Considering the relation.
Does anybody have further information or notes about Trigun that they
Those are my Trigun thoughts.
And please go easy on me. I'm really scared. Just liked how that line was delivered.
Yeah. Oh, we do have to mention the start of episode 10 with Vash's morning routine. Like,
okay, yeah, he meditates for 3 seconds and then plays Egg Gun.
Hey. I loved that. It was very silly, and he did play Egg Gun, but I loved it because it was like, this is how Vash sees himself. And we never really got to see that. And I loved that, but I also loved the fact that he was like, I go out and I teach the children, gets his ass beat by kids. He'd win in a battle against Goku.
Yeah, no, I don't know. He's just, there are different types of comedy with Vash, right? There's the comedy of him trying to be a normal guy, but unfortunately he's Vash. Like, there's that, but then there's just the comedy of like him going through a normal day and just being a guy with quirks. Like, everything in that scene, as weird of a figure he is, those moments at the start of that episode are like some of just the most regular human shit we see. I don't know how many humans any of us know who balance an egg on a gun on a regular basis, but like, it's just kind of person fucking around in the morning after waking up stuff. And I really like that we see that.
Some people's playing with their coffee cup is Egg Gun.
Egg gun, yeah, exactly.
Yeah, everybody's got an egg gun. Okay.
Everybody's got an egg gun. What's your egg gun?
Everybody, what's your egg gun? Come on. You got an egg gun. I got an egg gun. What's your egg gun, buddy?
What's your egg gun? That's the only other thing I had. Everything else we've talked about. I fucking love this show, and I'm really glad to have gotten to go back to watch these couple. The moment Max said these were the episodes, I was like, oh fuck, it's Wolfwood time.
It's Wolfwood time.
It's Wolfwood time.
Y'all have so much more Wolfwood time ahead of you.
Yes, that's great news.
That's great. That's great news. Okay, well, it's been tremendous fun, and I'm so glad you could spend this time with us. Afterschool Anime Club is back, and I'm so glad that it's back, and I hope you're glad that it's back too. This episode is one of 3 that's going to get released all at once, and then we're going to get back to our normal weekly schedule. But
so enjoy. This is the middle of the 3 drop, right? This is
exactly. Yeah. Yes.
Welcome to part
Season
2.
Part 2. Yeah. Hour 2 of binging. I'm so proud of you.
I almost want to do a Trigun style preview of the next episode. Next time.
Hour 2 of binging. I'm so proud of you. Keep it up. Don't forget to hydrate, okay? You got to take a break. Take a bio break and hydrate and come back to us, okay?
That's right.
You got this. 1 more hour to go. So proud of you. Keep it up.
And that bell means that this week's meeting of the After School Anime Club has come to a close. It's been a pleasure hanging out with you, and if you'd like to follow us online, you can at Anime Club Pod on Twitter, at After School Anime Club on Tumblr and TikTok. I'm on Twitter at @MaxNewland_. Stevie, where can people find you?
I'm on Twitter until Twitter continues to exist or ceases existing. I'm on Twitter and Instagram at the handle AceMattering, and on Tumblr as Spamming Medica.
Max Cosplay.
You can only find me on Twitter right now, so who knows what the future holds. It's at Max_attacks.
And Jay.
You can find me on Twitter, you can find me on Tumblr, on a co-host that I don't really use much, on Letterboxd if you like movies or whatever. I am extreme salsing on all of those things because we love brand synergy here.
You gotta love it.
Gotta get that SEO.
And you gotta leave a freaking rating, folks. If you've been listening to this podcast and you haven't left a rating on Apple Podcasts, what are you doing? What's up with that? You know, like, give back. Why don't you? Sorry, that's
Jay. Just to bring you up to speed, this is the part of
Where we
every
get really
single
mean,
episode of this podcast where we get a little abusive towards our listeners.
It's okay. It's good to be. Can I actually also plug? You mentioned at the start of the show, Max, but as this comes out, additional postage required. An audio drama I have been working on for what feels like the entire length of a 100-aisle walk through the desert to reach a bus with Vasha Stampede on it is going to be coming out a couple weeks from this, and Max is in a couple episodes of it. He's incredible. I'm so excited to have it out in the world. Please, I don't know, listen to it when it comes out on January 16th and stuff. Thanks.
Yes.
Absolutely, you know I'll be listening.
Yeah, I will be. I love hearing the dulcet tones of Max's voice, especially when he's antagonizing me or tired of me talking too much. I
would never say you talk too much.
You have to wait a few weeks for Max's episodes, but I promise the rest are good too.
None of us can be accused of talking too much. We are
that's the job.
That is actually our job.
It's the gig!
Honestly, that's true. Look, I would just like to take umbrage with the fact that I would like to say that at this point of the podcast, I do not get aggressive. I take offense to the word aggressive. I'm not aggressive. Are you calling me angry?
We don't want that. That's not true.
Yeah, no. We love our listeners. We just also know that we have to take we set boundaries in a really good way,
we have boundaries here, okay?
Because we do ask for
boundaries.
reviews. Please give us a review and make it a nice one.
Please.
If you want to give us a 1-star review, just don't. Give us a 5-star review. Actually, you know what? I'm getting aggressive now. Please. Fucking go and give us a review, and don't include any chicken-headed shit.
Because I might read it, and then wouldn't you feel stupid?
Wouldn't you feel stupid and sorry and sad?
I don't know. Maybe.
Take a minute and reflect on your choices, and then leave a review for your favorite podcast.
Hey, dipshit! Give every podcast you listen to a 5-star review, or I'll come into your house and break your fingers.
Okay, all right.
I say just give us a review. If it's funny, Max will read it. And he's read some really funny ones. If it's funny, Max will read it. Our literal only boundary is no chicken-headed shit. And we have the power to decide what is.
That's true. It lies solely in our hands.
You know. You also know. I think every individual person knows in their heart.
You
Just
do.
listen to yourself. Give it a quick read before you hit submit. We trust in you. We believe in you. We're only speaking this way because we love you.
As goes the copy editing, so goes the country.
I feel like I'm digging a hole that I can't get out of.
Okay, we better take Max's shovel away. And again, we're so glad we got to spend this time with you. Thank you for listening, and we'll see you at the next meeting.
Welcome, one and all, to Riley Hopkins and their amazing friends, the actual play podcast that steals. What does that mean? That means that we take stories from corporations and come back and tell our own fanfic-inspired actual plays with them. We do things like a Star Wars podcast that takes place 300 years after The Last Jedi. What if any Zoids media was good? We tell stories in those spaces that are better than the ones that the corporations tell us because we're not f***ing cowards. Please, come join us at Riley Hopkins and their amazing friends to hear a plethora of wonderful stories every once in a while on the Moonshot Podcast Network. Riley Hopkins and their amazing friends. Hosted by me, Riley Hopkins.